First, I want to say a few words about this subject. The Pilgrims walking towards hope. This is the true translation of the motto of Jubilee year in Catholic Church. The Jubilee year has motto Peregrinantes in spem. There's a special logo for it, and Peregrinantes in spem. And in many languages, it was translated simply as Pilgrims of Hope. But this is a false translation completely. Peregrinantes in spem means those who now walk towards the hope. Yeah? So the hope is still ahead of them. Yeah? This is not that they have hope, that's why they walk. No, the hope, all the time the hope is ahead of them. Yeah? And the hope is what moves them, yeah? What makes them walking. Yeah? They are never satisfied. They are never sure that they already reached the goal. No, the goal is ahead. Yeah? They want to walk, they want to walk. I think that they are always hungry. They are not interested in any kind of stability. Yeah? They spend their life walking, and they walk towards hope. The hope is ahead of them. I think they are like Abraham. Yeah? Abraham is our father in faith. And he is not only our father in faith, he is also father for Jews, he is also father for Muslims. Yeah, we all treat him as our father in faith and a good example. If you look at the life of Abraham, he never stopped. He never stopped. He had always hope ahead. Even when he reached the Holy Land, the land being promised to him. Yeah? And he came to this land, so he could build a house, a temple, whatever. But he never built a house. Living in his promised land, he used to live in the tent, showing that he is still on the move, he's still on the way. And he knew that the country he got is not the country promised to him. There's something after, something ahead. Yeah? Never to stop. So this motto, I think it's quite important, that it pushes us to walk, yeah? Not to stop, not to sit down, yeah? Not to be happy with what we have. No, there's Peregrinantes in spem. In spem means to, into. Yeah? This is important. Why is it so important to walk towards hope? I have found two important texts showing the importance of hope. The first one was written already 60 years ago during the Second Vatican Council. The fathers of the council say, the future of whole humanity belongs to those who are able to pass to new generations the reasons of hope and life. So, if we ask the question, is there any future for mankind and for our world? Is there any future for us? The Council says, yes, there is a future. The future belongs to those who are able to pass the reasons of hope and life to new generations. If there is no reasons for hope and life, we have no future, and I think we have even no today. Yeah, so we can exist, but we will not call this existence, we will not call it life. This is the one quotation. And the second is from Francis, the Pope. By the way, he was not so talented as you in pronouncing the name Łódź. Yeah. Each time he saw me, he used to say, Lodge! Yeah, his way. Lodge! Yeah, he never said Łódź in his life. It's impossible for him. Wonderful Pope. Wonderful Pope. But the Pope in the document opening this Jubilee of Hope, he said that we live in a world without any hope. There's no hope in our life, there's no hope in our world, and the most painful proof for him that there is no hope. This is the thing we can discuss, or you can share your feelings about it. But he says that the proof is that the young people in the marriages, they do not want longer to pass the life to the children. Yeah? That they do not want to pass the life to children. And why? Because they have no hope for the children. Yeah? What is the life waiting for them? What is their future for children? Yeah, the young couples now are afraid of passing their life. For Pope, it was the most painful sign of the world losing hope. Yeah? There's no hope in the world where we do not want to pass the life anymore. Of course, there are also another proofs of lacking for hope, like war, like divisions, like suffering of so many people, like loneliness. Paul speaks about loneliness of old people and loneliness of young people. Yeah? I had once Cardinal Radcliffe, the Dominican father who became cardinal last year, and he said that we live in the times of the tsunami of loneliness. Tsunami of loneliness. Loneliness is something that destroys our life, destroys the life of many people. Tsunami of loneliness. There's a lot of poverty in our world. There's a lot of crisis in our world. There's a lot of sin. There's a lot of something we can call the structures of sin. Yeah? The structures of sin in our world, also in our church, I'm afraid, or in our churches. Yeah? The structures of sin. Yeah? You know, when we have the structure of sin, where the structures we produce do not let us to behave correctly. Yeah? In the structures we have, we cannot live in a good way. Yeah? Because the structures force us to sin, to evil. And we have such structures in the world, and we have, I'm afraid, such structures also in the churches. And there's one more reason about no hope, no more hope in our life. Important here in Taizé, this proof is division. Division among Christians. Yeah? You come here and you live a week in the United Church, experiencing unity, community, closeness to each other. Then you come back to your house at home, and what do you have there? The church which is divided. You find Christians separated one from another. Yeah? So Taizé is a place of hope, but our places, our houses, the places we live, are the places without any hope. Yeah? No. But it is difficult in our places to to have this hope for unity. I can share with you one experience from last autumn in Łódź. I repeat, in Łódź. We have ecumenical Bible school. And we run this school already 6 years. Usually we have 250 people each year, students come from different churches. And also we have those who give lectures. The lectures are also from different churches. It's a beautiful experience. And we made 2 pilgrimages together. But for some Reformed people, the word pilgrimage is something crazy. It's absent in their language. Now they started to use it. It's beautiful. First time we went to Israel. We had 300 people out of 6 different churches. And last autumn we went to Turkey to see the 7 churches of Revelation. And after this trip, we were welcomed by Patriarch Bartholomew in Constantinople. It was a beautiful meeting with him. And the people from the school asked him, "What do you expect from us concerning unity? What do you expect from us?" And he said, "Pray for the full unity." Full unity. He said, "Pray for the full unity." So somebody from the crowd asked him, what do you mean by full community? And he said, the full community is at the Eucharistic table. This is the man of hope. I'm afraid nobody now has a hope of the common Eucharistic table. And he said, pray for it. He is involved, I don't know, Mark will know better. I think Bartholomew is involved in the ecumenical process 40 years. 40 years. So he had the time to say, okay, it is impossible. We are not going to change it. Nothing will happen. No, he still preserves the hope in his heart. Pray for full unity. But I come back to the ideas of Pope Francis. He said that divisions are the reasons for losing the hope in our life. So there are plenty reasons why we lose our hope. What is the secret of hope? Thinking about it, I decided to start from the book of Job. I hope you know this book. One of the most important books in the Old Testament, in the whole Bible. The book of Job. It's also important because Job is not a member of Israel. He's not Jew. He's outside the holy people, the people of God. He's not the one from the people of God. He's, in our words, he's pagan. He lives outside. So his questions are not specific for religious people. His questions are the questions of the whole humanity. He's one of human beings. He's representative for the mankind. And I am sure you know his story, that in the beginning of the book we find him being very rich, very happy, honored by everyone, the most important man in the whole East, 7 sons, 3 daughters, and camels, everything, everything. And he loses it in one day. In one day. The book says that among the angels coming to the Lord, also Satan came. And God asked him, what did you do? And he said, I was walking and looking here and there. And God says, did you see my servant Job? And Satan asked a question. Gratis? Gratis? You understand? Gratis, so without any payment. Free? Does he honor you free? Does he honor you without expecting the reward? Does he really honor you free? In a sense, well, please remember this is the picture from the Bible, yeah? God says, okay, you can take everything from him. You can take everything from him. So God lets him to take everything from Job. Why? Because God has a hope. Some say that it is impossible for God to have a hope. Yeah? No. God hopes that in the whole world there is at least one religious, pious man who honors him free, for nothing, for nothing. Not because he got everything from God. The richness, the family, sons, daughters, wife, beautiful wife, everything. Yeah? Yeah. Yeah. God has a hope. There is at least one fellow. One religious fellow who honors me gratis. Okay, so this is the most important question in the book of Job. Is there anyone? Is there anyone who makes no interest with God? Yeah, no business. Yeah. In Latin we say, do ut des. I give you. Why? Because I expect you to give. Yeah. I'm afraid there are some Italians, sorry, but this is the example I have from the medieval books concerning Italy, especially South Italy, that they were praying for rain. Yeah, they were praying for rain. And of course, if they, in Italy, when they pray to St. Anthony. Yeah? There's only one saint. Il Santo is Anthony. Yeah? So they prayed to Anthony, and there was no rain. So they take the sculpture of Anthony, and they put it outside the church, yeah, to make him suffer the sunshine. Yeah, yeah. If you are, yeah, you do not give the rain, we will not take care about you. Yeah? We give you, but you are expected to give. Do ut des. I give you, but I expect to be given. Yeah. Yeah. So the hope of God in the book of Job is that there is at least one man in the world who honors him without payment, yeah? Without any reward. Okay, this is the hope of God. What is the hope of Job? Because he lost everything. So the most important question he has is, what is the sense of life? What is the sense of life? And behind that question is, what kind of God we have? Who is our God? Is he just? If God is just, why does he make innocent people suffer? Yeah? Why? Well, I'm sure you know this question. Okay, this is one of the questions we have through whole history. Yeah, what is the sense of the suffering of innocent people? So, who is our God? Who is our, yeah? Okay. We have the break to try to pronounce Łódź. Okay, when Job has that question, the book speaks about his three best friends who came to him, and first they behaved like true friends. They sat down like you here, and they kept silence 7 days. They said nothing. Yeah? Because when you meet such a person, the best thing to do is to sit down and to keep silence, to say nothing, but to be close, to be with. But you think that every single word you have on your tongue is just too small, what you can say. Unfortunately, after a week, they started to talk. And their idea was, you suffer. This is the proof that you used to behave wrong. You have to be sinner if you are punished. You have to be sinner. There is no suffering without cause. Yeah? You are punished by the Lord because you sinned a lot in your life. And Job, he knows he didn't. He knows he was innocent. And he knows he suffers. But what is the most important thing? He knows that he faces the mystery and that God is not like his friends talk about. What they say about God is a big lie. No, it is impossible for God to be such a cruel fellow, yeah? Punishing every sin, you know? And there's the most beautiful sentence by Job in the whole book. It is translated in different way in different translations, but the best one, the most beautiful one is, Job says, "He can kill me, I still will trust him." He can kill me, I still will trust him. But he knows God has to be different. That's his hope. That's his hope. Yeah? So God has hope that Job will be different than Satan presents him. Yeah? And Job has hope that God is different than his friends show him. Yeah? It's a beautiful hope. Yeah? That's why I call this book, the book of Job, I call it the book of hope. Hope. Okay. Why? And this is the point we have to reach. Why? What is the key to such a hope? That you hope he is different. He is different. Yeah? God thinks he is different. he's not like Satan says. And Job says, he is different. He's not like my friends present him. What is the key? Okay. Letter to Romans, chapter 5, verse 5. Hope, there are two translations, and it's good to know both. There are two translations. Hope does not put us to shame, because God's love has been poured into our hearts through the Holy Spirit who has been given to us. And the second translation, hope does not disappoint us, because God's love has been poured into our hearts through the Holy Spirit who has been given to us. So the difference in translations is, hope does not put us to shame, and then hope does not disappoint us. Usually we use the second translation, and I think because we do not want to hear the first one. Yeah? The hope does not put us to shame, because I think there are some hopes putting us to shame. We will never say in public about these hopes. Yeah? So, why are you doing that? Well, why? I simply want money. We do say it in public? No. No. Why do you study? Well, I want to be a head over all the heads. Capo di tutti capi. You will never say that in public. There are some hopes putting us to shame. But there is a hope that does never put us to shame and never disappoints us. And this is love. This is love. Pope Francis, commenting this verse from Romans, says, in its essence, hope is born out of love. In its essence. Why do I hope? Why? Because I love. Or even better, because I know I am loved. I know there is someone loving me. There is someone loving me. Yeah, there is hope. There is hope because I love. Why God is sure that Job is different? Because he loves him. And loving him, he expects everything good from him. Yeah? This is the love God has towards every one of us. Yeah? God looks at me, of course not at you, because you live in a saintly way. Yeah? But he looks at me and he sees a great sinner. Yeah? So why does he hope? And what does he expect from me? Why? Why did he make me a cardinal, knowing my past, knowing my history? Why? Because he loves me. And he is never tired with my sins, with my past. Never, never. And he is never tired, not because he is omnipotent, yeah? So he can do everything. No. Not because he's powerful. No. He's never tired because he always loves. He is love. So, God has a dream concerning me, concerning each of you. God has a dream. Yeah? And the reason for the dream is his love towards you. And if anyone says to him, Why? There is a beautiful Jewish story concerning the creation. Midrash, one of the Midrashes. Yeah? When God creates man like Mark, all the angels come to him, to God, and say, do not create him. You know, what will he do? You know, he will do this and that and that. And God says, I know that, but I want him. Yeah, beautiful. I want him. I can give you personal testimony. 14 years ago, I was nominated bishop, auxiliary bishop in Kraków. So before the sacra, before the ordination, the bishop is expected to go somewhere, to a lonely place for the retreats. And I went to a very strict cloister near to Krakow called Bielany with Camaldoli monks. And I had a wonderful time there. But one day I was reading the Bible and I reached the 3rd chapter of the prophet Zachariah. And this is a very short chapter in the whole book. Shows archpriest Joshua standing in front of God. And there is Satan with him, saying to God, look at him, accusing him all the time, accusing him. And the priest is in the very dirty cloth, with the holes, everything. Well, he looks awful, awful. And Satan accuses him all the time, all the time. And God gives very simple answer. It will be free translation. The free translation is, shut up. Shut up. I have chosen him. Yeah. I don't know if you can imagine, but when you are to become bishop, this is the thing you have to pass. Because Satan comes to you saying, look at you. Look at you. You are to be bishop. You are crazy. You do not remember this, that. And there is no answer. Only answer is Zechariah chapter 3. Yeah? God has a dream. God has hope towards you because he loves you. And he knows you can live better. He knows you can live in a different way. And why should we have a good image of God? Because we love him. If we love him, he will never believe the Job's friends. Yeah? We will never believe them. God is not like they speak about him. He is different. He must be. Even, I do not understand. I do not understand. Yeah, there are moments I see nothing. And I trust him. Yeah? This is what Job says. He can kill me. I will still trust him. I will still trust him. This is love. This is how love speaks. And the only reason for hope is love. I have no hope for this man. That means I stop to love him. I have no hope towards my work. That means I stop to love it. Yeah? The question is always about love. This is what I wanted to say to you.